Yes, good afternoon, everyone. This your soul brother, Taalik, Reality Temple Ministries on Earth, aka Operation Exodus, Mississippi. And what I say here on this video does not represent the essential ideals of Operation Exodus, Mississippi. So I'm just going to come to you on this platform, not necessarily with just straight random talk, but basically, I just want to make a quick video about this subject uh, called Sharpton, by the way of who many of you in the black community or the black conscious community across America have been familiar with for decades. Well, I must say, because I don't get caught up in too much with focusing my attention on these black celebrities and they scandals, be it Jesse Smollett or R. Kelly, and all these other so-called Negro celebrities in America that don't really do nothing to help benefit those black communities that they come from in terms of economic upliftment as well as economic or moral or physical liberation, so I don't really get caught too much into that scandal stuff. But since it's been so much in the news lately, Jesse Smollett, who's a so-called African American, as the media describes, but who I choose to call a dark-skinned descendant of a slave born in America, is an actor and a singer, and he is also a part of the LGBT community. Okay, now with that said, he set up a staged physical assault that was supposed to have been carried out on him by a perpetrator, which he put two soul brothers up to by paying them to stage this, which ended up in the media, as people believing, or rather to say, thinking that a hate crime was committed against him, and in terms that he was a victim of such a hate crime because of his sexual preferences or alternative lifestyle, as some would call it, in terms of sexual preferences. And with hate crimes, whether it got anything to do with sexism, sexual preferences, or race, it has been increasingly growing across this country, especially since Donald Trump has been president. And hate crime is really skyrocketing. I don't know if to say at an all-time high, because we know in this country that this country, far as from its inception, was built on hatred, far as race and different other things, as well as slavery, oppression, and Jim Crow and all that other stuff, so forth on. But however, I must say that it has now been reported, as we know by now, that Jesse Smollett has been criminally charged with falsifying a criminal complaint, saying that he was targeted as a hate crime victim. And of course, it's a felony well, at least in the state of Illinois, where he was charged at, which was in Cook County, Illinois, in the Chicago area. And, you know, I mean, this has been out in the media for the past week, a few days or so. And, I mean, it's blowing up. I mean, you know, like explosive firecrackers. It's just blowing up all over the media. And people, of course, can't stop talking about this. But I must say that, you know, because hate crimes are very essentially sentimental in terms of the way that people are victimized as a result of hate crimes in this country, whether it be because of their nationality, their ethnicity or color of their skin, or like I say, their sexual preferences or whatever else may be that they're hated for, and which would result in them becoming a crime victim because of such hatred. I would say this, that as a dark-skinned descendant of a slave born in America, myself, I have to say that I take this very personal because, I mean, the reality is I could walk out there, that door, any time of the day, and just because I am dark-skinned, get my head blown off by some racist cop or some other type of racist because of the color of my skin, to even get harassed, let alone killed, just merely get harassed, or, you know, have some type of kind of other frivolous attack, you know what I'm saying, done to me just because of that, you know. And I must say that that's one reason I definitely take that personal, as millions of others who've been victimized in this country by way of hate crimes, you know. And because of this, and because of the inbred racism in the you know, system in this country, when it deals with issues such as that, you know, many victims don't even report these crimes to the police or other authorities because they feel they're not going to, no one is going to, unquote, believe them, or, you know, and all kind of stuff, you know, for different reasons. And so, with that said, Jesse Smollett really really, you know, added more unnecessary fuel to the fire, you know, of, you know, the perpetration in terms of the perpetuation of hate crimes being carried out toward people in this nation, especially those who are dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America. And I mean, you know, I mean, it was unnecessary for him to stage such a false complaint like that. And honestly, I have to say this, and I don't care if he is, unquote, black or whatever, you know, wrong is wrong. And what he did, I really, of course, like, as I would critique Tyler Perry saying, even concerning this issue, is that I really don't have too many words for that. But I would say this, though, is that, you know, L. Sharpton, of all people, who's considered as the unquote prominent leader, at least one of them in this country, far as black people being concerned, need to really keep his damn mouth shut. You know, I seen him get on, while he was, I guess, being interviewed, you know, I was reading online where he made basically a statement that if Smollett is, guilty of what he's alleged to have done, far as making a false hate crime uh, reporting complaint, that he should have the maximum penalty handed down to him. Okay, I don't have no problem with that. But what I do have a problem with is this. Sharpton is one of the biggest liars ever known, not only among so-called black people in America, but ever known among history of all humankind. Number one, back in the 80s, which got his name, in the spotlight in terms of which led to him obtaining celebrity status since then, was that Tawana Brawley case. In that Tawana Brawley case, he was the linchpin in staging that false complaint in terms of when white police officers, I believe in the New Jersey area, as I spoke on in another video, were falsely accused of raping her. And then it turns out he helped stage that orchestratedly, as well as along with the help of the so-called victim, Tawana Brawley, who turned out, or which it turned out that she had lied about this situation. And with definitely Sharpton's help, this is what helped, push him all the way into the celebrity spotlight where he is now. That main incident as well as event. And since then, just like these other religious or so-called black leader charlatans, including Farrakhan and Jesse Jackson, and the list goes on, have been pimping our people and have been, making money and getting rich off our people's plight, well as suffering, of course, in this country, and Sharpton don't have no right even opening his mouth talking about someone else lying, especially when it comes to issues pertaining hate crimes and stuff, which is definitely equated with the plight of dark-skinned descendants of slaves born here in America. And he doesn't need to say anything. When whoever interviewed him asked him a question concerning the Jussie Smollett scandal, he should have just simply kept his mouth shut, period. He shouldn't have had nothing to say. I mean, him, just like Jesse Jackson and the rest who I mentioned, who really don't speak in terms of legitimately for the black community, he should have basically kept his mouth shut, and he shouldn't have said nothing. He should have recused himself from asking any questions concerning that. Number one, he is known as a big liar, like I said, and in the details which I just described, starting with the Tawana Brawley case that got him to celebrity prominence. And then also, too, he was a known undercover FBI informant, against the mob. So, all this here, I would be keeping my mouth shut, period. I wouldn't even be saying nothing about nothing. I mean, you just like I was gonna go before I lost the train of thought. I was gonna say, you don't speak out on issues too much when it comes to this, racial police brutality in this country against dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America, let alone any other type of hate crimes that's carried out against dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America. But only when it benefits you and only when it's suitable for you, just like the rest, as I spoke of in terms of Jesse Jackson and even Louis Farrakhan. So like I said before, he should have kept his mouth shut. He shouldn't have even said nothing. Period. You ain't speaking out against the gang violence, far as people killing each other over colors or whichever, or because of whichever way they got their hat turned on their head, or because somebody from another neighborhood, but yet the same people killing them, it's the same dark skin or darker skin color as they are. You ain't speaking out on that. You ain't rushing to get behind the podium to address that or to effectively try to do something to prevent that from continuing. But you want to get up here and open up your mouth about what some guy who happens to be a homosexual or part of the LGBT community, you happen to want to speak on his alleged shortcomings when you're one of the biggest liars ever, like I said, in mankind's history. At the expense of your own people suffering, by the way. Because your claim or presence as a so-called leader ain't did a damn thing, to change around the current plight that our people are still in, as we've been in for over the past 400 years in this country. So like I said before, you need to just stay quiet. Stand quiet as you do when you accept that hush money from the table, from our external 400-year slave oppressors. You see? Oh, but I guess because you wasn't receiving no hush money under the table to keep your mouth shut, you decided, I ain't getting paid to be quiet about this, so I'm going to speak on this. Be real. Just keep your mouth shut, period. Sharpton needs to keep his mouth shut, period. Point blank. And like I said before, because you don't speak for black people. You never have, really, effectively in terms of even coming close to a Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. when it comes to speaking for black people. And well as everybody else who knows that, you know that yourself. So stop just playing games. You don't you don't represent. I mean, even when you was about one of the only blacks who was able to get in the White House and rub shoulders with Barack Obama when he was president, it didn't do nothing effectively to change our present plight as a people in this country. especially for the better, but stayed worse like it still is now, as it's getting worse. You know, so like I said before, you know, you should have kept your mouth shut, period, about that. Shouldn't have never said nothing. And whether that brother Jussie Smollett is guilty or not, okay, that's one thing. And I understand there's a lot of mixed emotions and even opinions about this scandal. But my whole point in this video is that people like L. Sharpton, who don't speak or represent those of us who are dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America, need to keep his mouth shut. And it's just that simple. You know, it's just that plain out simple. He shouldn't have, he shouldn't have said nothing. And even anybody else who don't really stand on strong foundation in terms of where they can speak for dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America, whether it's on the matter of the Jussie Smollett scandal, or let's even say the R. Kelly scandal or any other scandal involving our black, unquote, celebrities in this country, shouldn't even speak on it. They don't give a damn. You don't give a damn about black people anyway, or who are referably called usually dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America, as I choose. But like I said, you know, we need to understand this for what it is and stop playing games and letting our external enemies decide who our leaders is, which is part of the problem of why we can't get nowhere as a people. Because we keep letting these external enemies who's been oppressing us for over 400 years decide who our leaders should be. And unfortunately, L. Sharpton is one of them. And like I said, you know, he shouldn't speak on black matters. You know, like I said, the only reason he usually speaks on anything, even with the Michael Brown, the death of Michael Brown that happened at the hands of a Caucasian police back almost 5 years ago in Ferguson, Missouri, is because he was getting paid to do that. He was getting paid by the unquote powers that be to do that. You know, and like I said, usually most of this other stuff, beside the Michael Brown situation that's happening, he usually keeps his mouth shut, just like Jesse Jackson and these other basic people I've been talking about in this video. And he keeps his mouth shut. You know, all these dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America that's throughout this nation, sitting up in these jails and prison, as well as even mental institutions, for crimes they didn't commit, or because they were falsely accused of a crime. He ain't speaking on that. He ain't rushing to do nothing about that. Why? Because he ain't getting paid to? Oh. I mean, I'm just saying, you know. So, I mean, he need to keep his mouth shut. It's just that simple. And anybody, you know, even those who brown nose him, who disagree, well, hey, that's on you. You know, because evidently, if you don't agree, which I'm not forcing you to, which is your choice, but the truth of the matter is you're part of the problem. And it's just that simple. and as I was going to further go on to say before I close out this short video, because I got to do another one with our good brother, and one I do have definitely great respect for, not because I worship him or idolize him, or praise him, but because who I merely have respect for, Angel Snup Snup 7. Okay, but I got to do another Hangout live video with him, so that's why I'm making this one shorter. But I mean, we got to stop. We got to address. We got to confront these fake charlatans in our community that don't speak for us. It's time for dark-skinned descendants of slaves in America to step to the plate and stand for something instead of just falling for anything. We're the only people that is being used like rag dolls by everybody in this planet, especially in this country, because of our stupidity. Just like Brother Minister Eric Muhammad of Temple 15 in the Nation of Islam said about those who follow Louis Farrakhan. I mean, our people got to stop being stupid plain out. And it's just that simple. And stop falling for anything, giving their money away, or giving praise to Negroes like L. Sharpton, who's getting paid off our suffering. And whenever he says something dealing with our cause as a people, far as us as dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America, simply as put, he needs to be confronted and shut up right on the spot. His mouth needs to be closed. His mouth needs to be made closed right on the spot. It's getting tiresome, more than tiresome. Matter of fact, hearing people like him even speak in the media or public wise, because he doesn't represent us as a people, nor these other leaders or fake pro-black conscious leaders who's describably hypocrites like him. So, like I said before, with that said, I'm getting ready to make a video, some similar dealing with these fake pro-black conscious people in the so-called black conscious community. I'm finna get ready to do a live hangout video with our brother Taalik Ibn'rad, aka Angel Snup Snup 7, concerning that. And I mean, we putting these niggas on blast. I mean, it's just that time. We putting these niggas on blast. We ain't holding them up. And it's just that simple. We ain't got time for this. Our people are suffering too much hell right now in this country to keep on playing games with Negroes like this. When our lives is at stake every day as a people, far as our existence go in this country, let alone with just anything else, we ain't got time to keep on playing games with these Negroes. We got to put them on blast. Simple as that. Put them all on notice. And I'm talking about those ones that are hypocrites among us as a people. And that's fake. And that means us no good. We got to just simply put them on blast. And like I said, I am very unapologetic about this. I've been in the conscious community. I've been an activist. or around a bunch of activism for years, and basically a great majority of it has just not gotten us nowhere. And I've seen this. And for what it is, and this is why I stand with my brother Angel Snup 7 on this platform of Reality Temple Ministries, because me and him come from the same cloth. We've been through a similar situation dealing with this pro-black conscious bull crap. So we can identify, and have empathy for each other and knowing all this. And with that said, I will close this out with peace. And I'm Aldi